Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So here we are today in one of my lockups, and I know you can't really see it from this camera angle. I'll give you a wee turn round. There is actually a bike missing. So the Yamaha XV535 is away. There will be another bike coming to the channel very soon. I'm not going to disclose what kind of bike it is. But yeah, I was meant to get it this weekend, but there's still a little bit of work needing done to it, so hopefully be getting it soon in the coming week. But until then, what we've decided to do is I've come here to this lockup to get all the stuff ready to do a colour tune on the Bandit 1200 project bike. So I've not done a colour tune before. It was one of the tasks that my old man used to do. So he's going to come along as well today. We're going to go to the other garage where the Bandit 1200 is, give it a wee colour tune, a wee bit of a school day for me today as well. And hopefully this will help other people trying to get carburetors sorted out on similar type bikes. So we've got one of these guys. This is a carb-tune synchroniser, and that's basically just balancing out the vacuum on the carburetors, which I think we have done that before, but I think in hindsight you meant to do a colour tune first. So we'll just look out the tools for that. Right, so here we are. We've got a Gunson's colour tune here. So this is a 12mm. I don't know if that's the right size that we need for the Bandit 1200, but I believe my old man's going to be bringing some of his stuff as well. So hopefully between the two of us we'll have the right stuff to do this. And yeah, we'll just get everything together and head to the other lockup. While I'm here as well, I will say, went out on this bike just a couple of weeks ago now, and I was following my brother and my old man on their Harleys 883s, so similar size engines, 900cc's, and I felt like I was struggling to keep up. I don't know why. This bike's always ran really well, but for some reason, since I've done the header pipes and everything, it's like the flow's not quite right. And on full throttle, anything like sort of 65 and above, it just feels a wee bit kind of, it's hard to explain. It just doesn't feel like peak performance is there. So yeah, when I learn how to do this colour tune, I'll maybe get this carbs all set up on this, just to make sure that it's running optimum performance. So that'll be in another coming video. But yeah, like I say, today we'll be concentrating on the Bandit. I just wanted to say while I was here that this bike will be needing a bit of work over the coming months, over winter. It is just a workhorse now, and it kind of gets neglected. Although at the beginning of the year I did change up a couple of bits and pieces, I think ultimately I do need to start taking bits off of this, giving them a wee treat, give them paint up, the side stand, the centre stand, stuff like that. I'll maybe get some of the springs and everything put in for plating or whatever, because like I say, this is my main bike, this is my pride and joy, so it's time to start giving it a wee bit of love. The swinging arm bearings could probably do with getting greased up and stuff as well, so probably take the swinging arm completely out this winter, give it a wee sand down, a wee coat of paint, some lacquer, try and protect it from the elements. Now, it's been a while since we've been down here, guys, but let's get what I actually got the Bandit looking like a Bandit here, with a fuel tank on and everything. A wee bit of grubby looking since we had a bit of a spillage on the paintwork, but we'll tidy that up once we get it running right. Hopefully we'll get it running right. So let's get it out in the daylight. It's a bit darker in here than it is in my one, so we'll get it out in the daylight, get the stuff off it, and then I'll get shown how to use this colour tune, and hopefully I can pass on that knowledge via this video. Yeah, we didn't actually attach this tank, it's just sat here. Right, first things first guys, we'll not be doing anything without any power, so we've had this battery fully charged. The main man took it home, give it a charge up, so we'll get that in, and at least we'll have some power.
Doesn't go in that way, it's in the other way, doesn't it?
Is this not on the positive here?
I don't know where you pause it.
Right guys, so in the past I've had a bit of difficulty trying to get into these spark plugs because they're quite deep inside the cylinder head here. So what we had to do the last time that we were taking the, well, we changed the plugs, we went and got this proper sized little socket, 18mm. So you drop that in, and how I do it is I use this. It's like, instead of an extension bar, it's kind of just a swivel. Like, once that's in the cylinder, you can drop that in, and you've got a wee bit of room there because you can just bend it out the way, and once you've dropped that in, just gives you enough to turn these plugs out. Then you can remove this and basically just use your finger to pull that back out of the cylinder head. It is very tight for space. I'm sure maybe other people that are working on bikes like this have got other tools that fit for purpose, but this was my solution, and I hope it helps somebody else if they're needing to change their plugs. Right guys, so this is the Gunson colour tune that we're about to use. I'm just going to get a wee tutorial on it here.
So you screw that in the plug hole, you screw that on top, HD lead goes on there. If you need to use the viewer so that you can see the colour of the tuner, it's easier with that on if it's deeply recessed.
Right guys, so we're having one of these days. We had the colour tune into the cylinder, everything tightened down. Problem is, you can't get it back out again. So we've done one. You can't do the inner ones because there's just no space. So we've resorted to, we're about to take the carbs back off, and what I've found out is that the screws are all in different settings. I don't know how that's happened because they were set at 2.5 turns. So we're going to take the carbs out, I'm going to turn them in, having inspected the plug. It's running a wee bit too rich, so we're going to turn them down to 1.5, start her up and just see how it goes from there. And it just might be a case of just fiddling with the screws until we get it right. Any advice on this in the comments would be much appreciated. This is a learning curve for me. Right, so we've got the carbs out here guys, and what we're looking at is these screws in there. That's the screws you want to turn. So what I discovered was one of the screws, for some reason, because they had been set at 2.5, one of the screws, it's like it's too loose. So when you're running the bike, it's just turning itself out. I don't know how to stop that happening, but we've put them in flush again. We're going to turn them out 1.5 turns, put the carbs back in, we'll start the bike up just to see if it's made a difference. So yeah, let's bear with us and we'll get this set. Why is everything on? Just with the headlights and that. Headlights all go on. Fuel tap on. Right guys, so this is actually day number 2. We couldn't get it to start yesterday when we turned these screws into 1.5 out. The Gunson's colour tune that I had so excitedly talked about was kind of a no-go for me on this. And the reason for that is that the spark plug sits so far down into the cylinder head trying to get them in and then screw the actual top on it, it just wasn't working. So in theory I know how it's meant to work. You're meant to basically screw them in, then you've got the viewer on the top with a little mirror and you can see what colour it is and adjust the carbs accordingly. But since we're having problems actually gaining access to the cylinder holes for the spark plugs, that was when I decided that I'm going to admit defeat on the Gunson's colortune, and it's probably a great item for other types of engines where you've got more easier access. For example, the Viragos that I've been playing with, it'd be an absolute doddle to colortune them. I did have problems with my 535, which has been seen on this channel while I had that. I got it running top notch, and when I took it out I just decided, you know, it was a little bit small for me. It didn't go quite as fast as I expected, and my old man and my brother, they were kind of just leaving me behind on their Harleys. So I think I said earlier on in this video, I've got another bike coming. It's still not here. Hopefully I'll hear something today and I'll let you guys know what it is and let you see it, but until then it's going to remain a mystery. But as far as this goes and trying to get it started, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the carbs out one last time. I'm going to turn the screws out again another full turn, so they'll be sitting at about 2.5 out. Then I'll put them back in for the last time because I'm getting so fed up with this bike, and see if it starts or not. But we had a little bit of discussion regarding the Bandit 1200 and we've both lost heart in it. It isn't really needing much. It is a decent project. We've just got our eyes on doing something else. We've got the 1980s GS 850G and it is needing a hell of a lot of work. So over the course of the winter, despite the fact that I'll be doing stuff to my XJ900 as well on the sort of sidelines, that's the bike that we want to be doing. It's further up there in the lockup, and you know, I'll let you see that. It is quite dark in here, but we'll go up and I'll let you see the project that we've got our eyes on doing. So like I say, it is dark. A nice Suzuki GS 850G, and we've got a lot of parts for it, but it's sitting there getting neglected. And part of the reason for that is because we're spending so much time on this Bandit 1200. I'll get some more daylight back on since it's so dark. So yeah, we've opted to try and get this running as best we can. So that's my mission today, try and get it starting at least. And then we'll put it all back together and we'll just advertise it honestly, what stuff's needing done. Probably needs an accelerator cable, a wee bit of attention to the brakes. Hopefully not carb work. We've been trying to do carb work to this for quite a bit of time. Probably need somebody that's got a little bit more knowledge than myself. But it's only done, let me check, the mileage isn't high, it's 30 something. 32,000 miles, which for a Bandit 1200 isn't ridiculous. So we'll get it listed on a very popular auction site and we'll basically just see what it goes for. It might be a perfect winter project for somebody else. Our time, like I say, is going to be spent on other things. So we'll get the carbs out today anyway, and I'll try and rectify what I messed up yesterday, because it was starting when the screws were all so far out, it just wasn't running right. So we'll at least get it starting again so the potential buyer can hear that it runs. So yeah, carbs out one more time. Put these carbs in and out so often that I should be a professional at taking them out. I'm doing my best not to get the screws all chewed up though. They seem very soft. The worst thing about today when the sun's not out is visibility. It gets so dark. It'd be great to have a workshop with some electric and we could hook up some lights. I've not got my lead in my van, or I would have run power from my van and put my lights on. Unfortunately, I think I've not got the lead, so that's out of the cards for today. So you've got an electrical connector on this side. I'm going to let you see that. I think it might be beneficial just to show you all how easy it actually is. You've got the 4 Jubilee clips on the air filter side, and then you've got the 4 clamps on the inlet side. So just here you've got this electrical connection. So you just undo that. So I can't actually do it with one hand here. Let me see. There's just a wee clip and you just pop that out like that. And then I'll just tuck that over the cylinder head out of the way. Airbox just pulls back like that. Then it's basically a case of pull the carbs out the other side. Choke cable comes off first. I'll pop you back down here. You just give them a little bit of a rock, then they pop away. And you just I've got a vacuum pipe on the end of this carb on that side, so you pop that, then they just slide over. Gives you access into the choke cable here. I don't know if you can hear it, but it's absolutely pouring down the rain. So the choke cable I just tuck around the top of the head there. Then it's your accelerator cables. And to get into them you kind of need to hang the carbs out. Your fuel hose is in the middle. I'll let you see that. So, what are we looking at here? Just there, that fuel hose, there is a wee clip at the bottom of it. So you undo that and pull it off of the brim connector here. And that allows you a wee bit more access into the accelerator cable for throttle open. And once you get that one off, it's just the throttle close on the other side of the carb. We have got an issue with the cables just now. So the throttle open cable, because the carb's been on and off so often, it's in poor condition anyway, but it has started to fray. So it's getting caught up in the sleeve. So the throttle's now feeling a bit stiff. And I think I'm not wanting to spend any more money on this, so I'll maybe just trim off some of the frayed parts, and I'll let the new buyer know that it does require a new accelerator cable. That's the accelerator cables off here, and the carb, just very carefully you just slide it out. And all that's connected currently are the heater wires underneath the bottom. So you just pop them out, it's just bullet connectors there. And you can see where they go on. There, 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 and there. That's the heater cables. So yeah, we'll just get these carbs back up on the workbench and turn these screws. Right, so I've actually poured petrol all over the floor here. The carbs were quite full, and I think that's a result of the way I had the screws at 1.5 turns. Instead of having enough fuel and air mixture just right to start the bike, I think we are constantly flooding it, particularly with trying to start it with a choke on. So yeah, it's just needing a wee bit more air rather than too much fuel. So we'll just need a smaller screwdriver to get in it there. half a turn out, 1 turn out. Right, so they're all backed out 2.5 tons now. So yeah, time to get the carbs back in and see if they'll start. Right, so unfortunately guys, I didn't get it started again today. I think I'm just going to admit defeat on this one. I've had a lot of fun playing with it, but like I say, other projects are in the pipeline, so I'm just going to let this one go as a project for somebody else, get it advertised, get it going, and then we can start on the GS850. Like to thank you all for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.